What it do? It's your boy Jai back at it with another motherfucking video. And today, what we got? How one of the European deadliest drug gangs infiltrated world's boxing. You feel me? I just told you what we watching. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
The scene of the latest Hutch Kinahan feud.
Why this man got tidy whitey?
2 years
That's
since
how he
this
started
feud
off.
erupted in the capital. It's every bit as dangerous.
Started off with tidy whitey.
February 2016.
Man, he got
early
underwear
afternoon and the
on?
weigh-in before a boxing
He gotta get
tournament
beat
at
for the
Regency
for the
Hotel in
draws.
Dublin. Fighters, managers, members of the media, and the public are milling around. All of a sudden, the sound of shots. Two men stormed the hotel lobby wearing mock Irish police uniforms and blasting AK-47s.
For someone to be shot dead at a boxing weigh-in, was remarkable.
He was spotted by the three armed people who were dressed as Gardaí, and they shot him there and then.
It was a chaotic but carefully orchestrated attack that left one dead and fell short of its intended target, Daniel Kinahan, the day-to-day head of the Kinahan cartel, a criminal syndicate set up by his father in the late 1990s, which is now one of the largest in the world.
It's a never-ending page-turner, this story, really.
Daniel has overseen the family operation from a Dublin drug dealing gang to a globe-spanning operation, now thought to be worth 1 billion euros.
Damn.
The Regency shooting was not simply an eruption of violence from Dublin's criminal underworld. It revealed the extent to which it had spread, well beyond Ireland and especially into the world of boxing. Welcome to the business of crime. In this episode, we're looking at how an Irish crime syndicate has escaped authorities for decades and how its boss became one of the most influential figures in British boxing.
I've never seen an Asian British.
The Kinahan cartel has always been a family affair.
Asian
Daniel
British.
Kinahan's father, Christopher,
Asian
better known as Christy, was a notorious Irish drug
Brit.
dealer who earned the nickname the Dapper Don.
Christy Kinahan was caught very quickly as he
Asian.
moved into the heroin game and caught with a significant amount of
Asian
drugs at
British.
that time.
Asian
Despite
British.
arrests and stints in jail, Kinahan was
Britain.
able to enlarge and
Britain
expand his operations offshore
is the
with the help of
country.
his two sons, Christopher Jr. and Daniel. By 2010, the so-called Kinahan organized
Let me
crime
know in the
group
comments.
was based in Marbella in
Shit,
southern
okay.
Spain.
They
I'm
are
hurting
the
my
most
brain.
significant suppliers of drugs to Europe. They were dealing directly with the South Americans they were buying from, and they had control of the route into Europe through Africa.
Yet so far, all have evaded justice. After a multi-year police investigation, Spanish police moved against Kinahan and his associates in May 2010, an operation involving some 700 officers in 5 countries.
Europol coordinated a strike against them called Operation Shovel, and that really put them kind of on the world stage for the first time. Up until then, we were talking about a local group of Irish drug dealers who'd made their way out to Spain.
More than 30 arrests were made, plus several seizures as properties were raided. But allegedly, the Kinahans had been tipped off.
The Kinahans had been bribing some local cops and had possibly got a tip-off that these raids were coming. And one way or another, they got bail. Within 2 years, they were back in business, bigger, more powerful than ever.
So-called Operation Shovel only came to a handful of minor charges, but none for the top Kinahan trio. Daniel Kinahan still has no convictions at all. That's even after his former right-hand man, Gary Hutch, was shot dead near Marbella in 2015 after a falling out.
2 further killings as the attempt by the Kinahan crime cartel to wipe out the Hutch family continues.
That's how they said it on the news.
The attack
That's
on the
crazy.
Regency Hotel a few months later was immediately understood to have been a bid for revenge.
I ain't
for
even
Hutch's
know.
murder.
It's so
The
crazy.
Kinahan-Hutch feud continued to escalate, amassing a body count to rival the most bloody gang conflicts in Ireland's history. While some key figures of the cartel have been taken off the streets, Daniel Kinahan continues to operate in plain sight. Not only that, he has raised his public profile, becoming a major player in the world of pro boxing.
Daniel Kinahan had stayed in the background. He would probably be very safe now. He'd be in a very powerful position.
After moving to Marbella, Daniel Kinahan set up a boxing gym called MGM with pro boxer Matthew Macklin. With top-of-the-line training facilities and good financial terms for management, MGM gained a reputation as a credible base, becoming home to world champions Liam Smith and Billy Joe Saunders.
You know, I took a lot of advice and a very good personal friend of mine, Daniel.
Drugs pay better than fights, so most likely it's the veneer of legitimacy and even the public respect that drew Kinahan.
All right, this is what I was trying
I
to
don't
say.
think that making money out of boxing was the prime motivation. It was
I didn't
laundering
even know
Kinahan's reputation.
in
It
Ireland
was the definitive
they were
example
selling
of
dope.
sports washing, that he wanted to be seen
But it's crazy.
as a guy who'd taken over boxing.
Everything
and
happens
the guy who
everywhere
cleaned
the
up
same
boxing,
way.
which is very ironic given who he is, and the fact he's comes from a very dirty trade.
In August 2014, boxer Jamie Moore was
I don't
shot at
think Brett got
Kinahan's
nothing to do
home
with it.
in what was thought to be a botched attack on Kinahan.
Boxer.
Moore survived.
What I mean about scary is being lay on the floor, bleeding to death, thinking I'm never going to see my fucking wife and kids again.
Not long afterwards, a Kinahan associate was gunned down in an Irish bar in Marbella.
Damn.
That intensified scrutiny on Daniel Kinahan and MGM. And in 2017, he stepped down from the company. MGM rebranded as MTK and got a new boss, blaming bad publicity.
Okay, the initials have had to change, the name of the company has had to change, but it's everyone knows that that's the same. We're the same people that were behind MGM.
But Kinahan remained deeply involved in the sport, becoming personal advisor to world heavyweight champion Tyson Furry. Less than a year after the newly rebranded MTK cut ties with Kinahan, Furry signed with the company. And when in 2020 the boxing world went wild over the news that Furry would finally be facing Anthony Joshua, Kinahan was credited as having got it over the line.
Hello there, I'm just after getting off the phone with Daniel Kinahan. He's just informed me that the biggest fight in British boxing history has just been agreed. Get up there, my boy!
MTK became one of the biggest boxing management companies in Europe.
That's crazy.
Until it disbanded in 2022.
A boxing promotion company with links to Daniel Kinahan has announced it's to cease operations at the end of the month.
But somebody like Kinahan should never have been involved in the sport, should never have been involved in any sport. The thing is, it's only boxing who probably would have allowed it to happen, and that's an indictment of boxing.
The official line from Daniel Kinahan's lawyers is that he has no criminal record or convictions, and that wild allegations about him being a mob boss are without basis.
Like,
But
they ain't
after
seen him do
decades
nothing.
of
Like,
investigations
they can't really
and
say
dozens
something.
of deaths, authorities might finally be closing in on the Kinahan cartel.
They're wanted, and it's a case of the clock is ticking for them.
Thomas Bomber Kavanagh was jailed for 21 years for his role in a plot to import drugs worth 36 million euros.
This is 3 offences in total: conspiring to import and supply Class A and B controlled drugs, conspiring to import and supply firearms and ammunition, and money laundering.
And what's
in April
crazy,
2022, the US placed
these
sanctions
look
on the
like
cartel.
average
The United States Department
Caucasians
of State
in America.
is pleased
I
to
would have
announce
been
a
just looking
reward
at them like, oh,
of up to
you must got
$5 million.
a great job. Like,
Information
what? These
leading
boys
to
out
the
there
financial
slinging that rock, boy.
disruption
They boys out
of
there
KTCO
hitting the block harder
or the
than me.
arrest
Well,
and
you know,
convictions of
I
its
am
leaders.
And
law
just this
abiding
September, Johnny
citizen. I
Morrison
don't
was
do
arrested in Spain after being
anything
publicly named
outside
by the
of the
US
law.
Treasury as an alleged money launderer and a
But
key member of
these
the cartel.
guys do.
The boxing world has felt the
And they do
impact
it
too, with US
great.
authorities warning that anyone still
But
involved with
Furry
Kinahan
used to
needs
be
cut ties
a
or
druggie,
risk being
so I'm not
implicated in its investigation.
surprised
surprise me
he
at all
signed with his
if
dealer. Shit, he had a debt
When
deal
the
to
authorities
fulfill.
do move for them, they end up going on trial in America rather than Ireland or the UK or Spain. Like, it might well be the Americans who bring them to justice.
They are currently based in the United Arab Emirates, which lacks an extradition treaty with the US. Authorities are biding their time, but all will be hoping this will be their last round in the ring with the Kinahan cartel.
I feel like they hating on my man Daniel. I ain't gonna count. My boy Daniel he ain't never been convicted. You ain't never seen him do shit. You ain't never heard him do shit. You ain't never caught him in the act of telling somebody or anything. Y'all have nothing on Daniel to say Daniel did anything or any form of fashion. But just cause his pops, you feel me, was somebody, they make it seem that he's somebody. My man's trying to box. Y'all keep fucking up his boxing business, saying he selling narcotics. He can't get their boxes, but that's a smart little wash. You feel me? Uh but yeah, that'll do it. Like, comment, subscribe to you, boy. Let me know if you like the video in the comments. And peace.